How to buy a domain cheaply and easily. Many people don't realize that when creating a website, the domain is less important than hosting, which affects site performance and reliability. Hosting determines if your site is online and handles traffic, while the domain is just the address. Focus on finding a cheap, available domain. I'll link to a site with the best prices. Decide on a name, like Store of Everything, and search for availability. Common names like .com may be taken, as shown by registration dates. If taken, consider making an offer. Besides .com, there are many other endings like .net, .org, and more than 400 others. Check these options if your preferred name is taken. Hosting is crucial as it keeps your website online and functional. For domains, choose a good name, but focus on affordability and availability. A link in the description leads to a site with the best domain prices. First, decide on a name, like Store of Everything. It's likely taken, so search in the registration section. You'll see options like .com, which is often unavailable. If a domain is taken, it might have been registered earlier, like in 2008. You might see an option to make an offer due to domain resales, where popular domains are bought and sold. For instance, Store.com is simple and valuable for businesses, making it costly. Store.store costs $50,000, and Store.net is $7,889, showing the commercial value of simple names. And well, all the other endings. There are even more than 400 additional ones to the ones we see on screen, and you're probably used to the most common one, which is .com. So let's search for .com and we'll realize that in this case, it's taken. Store of Everything. .com. How do we know it's taken? Because it shows us that this page was registered in 2008, so we can't acquire it. You might be wondering, how come I can't acquire it if there's an option on the right to make an offer? Well, there's a huge business on the internet, and it's basically the resale of domains. It's when someone buys a domain that a lot of people might need, like Store.com. Let's search for it here, and we'll see that it's going to show us the same thing. This domain is very simple, very easy to find, and that's great for people who have their own stores. So having a domain like Store.com makes it super easy for people to make purchases. In fact, look here, Store.store costs $50,000, and Store.net costs $7,889, and so on. You can see that since it's such a commercial and simple name, it can end up costing quite a bit. But if we stretch it a bit, like Store of Different Things, for example, let's see if that one is available. Yes, it is available, but it's much harder to remember. It's less commercial. Because if you tell someone, hey, go to my page to buy storeofdifferentthings.com, they might get a bit confused. And it's pretty long, making it hard to type in, like on business cards. That's why people generally prefer shorter domains. But this will also depend on your SEO and the name of your business. So let's say that within all of this, you can end up choosing. Some might wonder what the differences are between. What about the .rental.io Pro? Well, first of all, the price. But why are some cheaper than others? Because this is already ingrained in people's minds, and since the creation of the internet, we know that almost all the most famous websites end in .com. So, this makes .com generate a sense of security and peace of mind for people when they visit, along with that trust because they're already familiar with the domain. But if you give someone a .io page, they might think, whoa, .io, that's weird. It seems like it's going to get hacked or something, and they won't have as much trust in it. However, that doesn't mean that nowadays you can't use any other domain from the ones listed here. So you can just hop on, search for the domain you like, and grab it. What do you do if the one you want doesn't show up here? For example, I don't see .co anywhere here. So you just search for it exactly like that, Tienda de Diferentes Cosas. Wait for it to load, and over here, you'll see Tienda de Diferentes Cosas. $10.98 a year. I invite you to look for this same domain or any other you want on different sites, and you'll see how much it costs elsewhere compared to what it costs here. Now, let's say this is your domain. The main thing is that you already have your business name, and you combine it with .com. It's really important to follow that pattern, because this can indeed refer to the fact that, again, in people's minds though. Well, he's from Colombia. Com is then it is from Spain, the .com. The .ar is from Argentina. If it shows up that it's unsupported, it's because the site, the platform, doesn't sell your desired domain extensions. Then you'll have to look on another platform. But commercial ones are usually available. For example, .com, Let's find a premium. 1. This might be taken. Let's check if it's actually registered. But what I wanted to show you is that sometimes it'll show as registered, but it might even say you can acquire it for a few $1,000s. You can make an offer. You pay, say, $2,000, and they contact the domain owner saying, "Hey, this person wants to buy your domain." Imagine you created your store long ago, called tiendalcul.com, and now you want that domain. You make an offer, and the owner might accept and transfer the domain. Let's try another store, like tiendeditodownpoco.com, and check availability. It's not taken.com, it's available. Add it to the cart, and see other services to try. For example, it offers store alternatives. Instead of tiendeditodownpoco, use tiendecita.com, a premium option costing more. Get a corporate email with a free trial, like the social media manager and more. If you don't want these, get hosting here. It says web hosting, but if not, go to your cart and click View Cart. Interestingly, you might find a cheaper platform, but what happens? In Nameship, domain privacy is free, unlike many stores that charge within the product price. Here, it's genuinely free, unlike many platforms. You might wonder, what is domain privacy? Platforms like Hois let you search any platform. For example, search tienda.com to check privacy, and indeed, it's set up. What happens with this? In Nameship, domain privacy is truly free, unlike others that charge secretly. It protects your info on platforms like Hois. For example, searching tienda.com shows if privacy is active. Without it, your data is public, risky for individuals. Domain privacy keeps your details private and is free here, unlike elsewhere. Basically, there are platforms called Hois, like these, where you can enter any of them and search for any platform. For example, let's look up tienda.com. Let's see tienda.com, and we'll search to see if this person has privacy, and indeed, they have privacy set up. What happens with this? Oh, well, in this case, they don't have it set up, and all of their data is public. This can be positive or negative for you. If you're working as an individual and not as a company, you'll have to put all your information so people can contact you, your phone number, your address, and maybe you don't want that to be public. So, in that case, what you can do is get this domain privacy, which is completely free forever. On other platforms, like I said, this costs you, and you might wonder, why would I want that? Well, you really don't know who might end up searching for your domain directly, seeing your info, contacting you, or even getting into your email, like in spam and other things. So, that'll depend on you if you want this to be public or not. Basically, once you've seen this, all the other options will show up again, or you can just click on Confirm Order, make the payment, and that's it. You can directly buy the domain, and that's how you get your domain for your store, your e-commerce, your platform, or your business.